drives cars, he stares and cares. From dry to La La Land, holds our hearts in his hand. And every road leaves his mark. Ryan Gosling lights up the dark.
Hello and welcome to Good Boys Gone Bland, Season 10, Episode 4, Gangster Squad. I'm your co-host, Denali.
Yeah, I'm your co-host, Ryan.
It's me, Jason.
My name's Tommy Onions.
You already said your name was Denali. You don't get to join in.
I'm a fourth guy, and I'm Tommy Onions.
Oh.
You know why they call me Tommy Onions?
Wow.
Because one time, he cried while he was watching The Notebook.
No, I don't cry. It's a good movie, though. Because I dice it up good on the craps tables. I'm Onions. You dice onions?
You dice your onions?
You know something else about Tommy Onions? He's got
Tommy.
layers.
Tommy,
There's a lot going on in here.
the boss told you had to stop gambling.
Tommy, I dice it up. That's what I do. That's how I got my name.
No. The boss man told you gotta stop gambling.
More like a Tommy short-term memory, eh?
To be clear, these are just
I was doing kind of like a Ryan
amorphous
Gosling sort
gangster
of thing.
accents.
Ryan Gosling
from-
talks like that in the movie,
Yeah, he
sort
does. I don't know what he's doing. Folks, welcome to our show. We actually talk like this. We were doing just a bit. I know our acting has gotten really good over the past few seasons, but we are a podcast that marathons and reviews 10 movies of a similar actor or subject. We're on episode 4 of our Ryan Gosling marathon for Gosling's Garden. We watched.
He's doing it again.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You
It's
kind of
gone.
like came
No.
up.
We're
like
on
up.
the 4th episode of our Ryan Gosling season.
Well, on a 4th episode, when I was doing the Ryan Gosling impressions in the previous episodes, this is what I realized. This is what I was doing an impression of.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't do any. I just drive.
I was
drive
thinking
the
that,
cars.
like, he's not impressionable, except
Yeah.
for when he's doing an
He's doing
impression.
this.
Whatever this is.
So you can't do an impression of Ryan Gosling, but you can do an impression of Ryan Gosling doing an impression. And he's not very good at them.
I want 3 pancakes and some eggs, please. It's like
That's,
when he,
that's good. That's
good.
pretty good. He doesn't do that.
There needs to be a little bit of inflection. I'd like pancakes and some
3
eggs,
pancakes. It makes me laugh thinking about where he talked about in the previous episode that he was trying to do a Marlon Brando impression. And is that what he thinks the Godfather is? You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Ryan, when you hear your voice in your head, what does it sound like?
It sounds like a little elf man trapped in a big adult man's body.
Okay, that's what we're hearing too. That's just so off the mark that I need you to.
This is my tough elf voice.
You know what?
This is like the toughest elf of all the
I like
Keebler
where
elves.
you're going. I like where you're going, but like, I just don't think the audience is gonna get it. So could you like lean in a little bit more?
Okay. hey, you fucking guy. I'll knock your damn teeth out.
Hey, that's pretty good. So that was maybe like one notch up, right? But it's gonna be hard to tell like the difference between like.
I've got a
you know,
huge
you
draw.
Can you
I was
can you
in
go
Dries.
a couple notches up for me?
Okay. Hey, you fucking guy! I'll fucking shoot you! You gangsters! I'm a cop!
Now, can you do the
How's
whole
that?
thing with like plugging your nose? Can you like stuff stuff up your nose so that you
Okay.
can't breathe through your nose?
Let me think about this. I'm Ryan Gosling, biggest star of the early 2010s. Hey, you fucking guys! I'm a badass cop!
That's actually, dude. That we actually kind of got there. We
I think that was perfect. We love you, Ryan.
watch
You're a
this
great
movie. Watch
actor.
for Gangster
You're
Squad.
great.
Watch
It's
like
a
a
good
clip
movie.
or
It's a-
something.
I actually acted as a gangster once in a public production of a play. Did I ever tell you about this in Alaska? I used to be part of the Valley Performing Arts as a young child.
Really?
Yeah, and a family member kind of got me a part as a paper boy in this production of Bugsy Malone Jr. And it was cool. Like, they had, like, guns that shot, like, silly string at each other. And one of the things I had to do was I was a paper boy. I was like, oh, read it in the records. New gang warfare, blah, blah. I had to do, like, an accent as a little kid. And then there was one scene where I was a gangster. They dressed me as a gangster. I had to do musical numbers. I was dancing. And then I had to hit a guy in the face with a pie. And it was the most fun thing. I hit so many people in the faces with pies in this production.
An actor.
I didn't know that.
There was one incident though where we how everyone kind of does like a big bow at the end where they hold each other's hands. And I was so much smaller than everybody else. At the end of the show, we're standing on top of stairs, and they bowed. And the guys next to me, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but they swung their hands down so hard, I did like a front flip and fell down the stairs in front of the audience. And there was an audible oh. And I didn't know how to do a bit as a kid to be like ta-da. Like I just kind of sauntered back up the stairs. Like it was really awkward.
I feel like that's the first like new information we've learned about.
Yeah,
like
about
someone of us in a long time.
Yeah,
I have a whole origin
I used
story.
to go to those when we were growing up.
Yeah, I think I was just in that one. I used to go to those too. Ryan, before the show, before we get into this too much, you told us about a thing you might have.
I have an activity.
A bit. Okay.
I have an
yeah, well please.
We're going to go with activity.
Okay.
Because, number one, I'm not expecting this to be funny.
Okay. You said it was going to be a laugh riot guaranteed in text,
number two, we're not doing, like, a bit we might imply that you're fucking around. This is
serious.
Is some serious stuff. We're going into some therapeutic ability. We might be unlocking some things, okay? So I recently got into this through kind of a, I shouldn't say there's a relationship between
He joined
like,
a cult. Oh God, he joined a cult.
Like
Jace,
the woo, right? Like the woo and then like conspiracy stuff, right? Like,
so,
like classic conspiracies. The woo, WOO.
But like Wu-Tang? Like
No, that's WU.
Okay, wait, what are you talking about?
The World Orgasm Association.
Yes,
Organization.
We're going to collectively orgasm. Okay, so I learned about this from my interests in other areas.
That's the most alarming sentence I've ever heard.
Yeah, right. Namely, kind of like UFO circles. Okay. So there's some people in there who are like, this is a science-based phenomenon and we need to take everything like super seriously and stuff. And there's other people who are like, they're interdimensional beings from magic.
Right.
There's also kind of a middle ground. And I'm kind of not in the middle ground at all until a couple weeks ago. I learned that even the U.S. government, even like people, scientists and stuff in like one random university in England.
Where the fuck is this going?
have been taking this phenomenon a little bit more seriously. This ability of some people to remote view. Do you guys know what remote viewing means?
So it's making me think of like on Zoom where you screen share.
Sort of.
It's making me think you can view outside your own body.
Okay.
View yourself in the third person.
It's like when my dad loses the remote for the TV, and he's like,
he's looking for it. Can you visualize it?
Remote view? He asks me, and I say, yeah, I see it right there.
Between couch cushion view. So the CIA used this back around, the MK Ultra days. So that's kind of more sinister, but like, to get agents to look in secret bunkers that belong to like other countries, and to find things and to find people. Okay. So remote viewing means looking at something even though you're not there. Okay. And this is there's a little bit of history with UFOs with this, because there's some people in the remote viewing community who have found secret UFO bases. Okay. The U.S. has these secret UFO bases that are like underground or inside hollowed out mountains and stuff. And we know they exist, guys. We know they exist because people have remote viewed into them.
How do they verify that you've seen?
Because you can do it. We're going to do it, guys. Denali, how do they verify? Well, let's find out.
Be quiet. It's his
We're going to verify for you right here live on TV.
Wait, the Venn diagram of people who believe in remote viewing and people who watch this movie is almost a circle.
That's exactly why we're doing it for Gangster Squad.
It's also people who are blasted drunk on Bush Light. That circles.
I could do it.
Bush Light is categorized as an enhancing substance, so if you have some nearby, feel free to pop a tab.
Okay. So how do we do this?
So what we're going to do? So do I have a volunteer to help me? We're going to do 2 rounds.
I'll go.
I'm gonna do a guinea pig. Okay, Denali wants to do it, so I'll take Denali through a session and I'll kind of tell you guys how it goes, and then all 3 of us will do it together in a way that the audience can do it for themselves.
Okay, I'm so excited. Huge fan.
Okay.
Huge fan.
Now,
First time
now
caller.
the thing with remote viewing is like, it's quasi-scientific, I say. It's like pseudoscience almost. So there's like hints of science in there. So there are some things we have to control for. First thing we have to control for is everything's going to be selected ahead of time, and we're not going to reveal it until the end. So that means is I'm going to choose an image. You're going to help me choose an image, and we're going to take that image. It's one in particular. We're not going to choose later, and we're going to set it off to the side. And then we're going to remote view that image, and then we're going to click on it.
Okay, I'm
Does that
so
make sense?
confused. But maybe it'll make sense as we do it.
Okay, imagine I'm going to hand you a picture. The picture's face down.
Uh-huh.
What the order of events is, I'm going to slide that picture, that single picture to you, upside down, and you're going to imagine what it is, and then we're going to reveal it. It's not going to be, you are going to imagine a picture, and then you pick from a selection.
Okay, I got you.
Jace, down in front.
Mr. Test Proctor, is it a picture of Sasquatch naked?
I can't tell you. I don't know what the image is.
Okay.
So the other control is that we're going to do it double blind.
What if I had thought that the picture was Sasquatch naked while you were talking?
Now, see, that's going to... This is a good point. So here's some advice on how this goes. So there's some terms and stuff. So first...
I see him too.
I see them all the time, baby. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of like enter this quasi-meditative state. We're going to just kind of calm down, relax our nervous system a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
And
shake it out.
for our non-participating people, so that being Jace, you can act as like another me, but I don't want you to act as like another Denali. I don't want you to say your suggestions, to like say things that you're thinking. I want you to only like, if you're with me, you can ask questions and stuff of what Denali's feeling. So we'll do this run through, and then we'll do it all three of us will do it again. Okay.
Right.
So I have, I'm on a website. It's called intuitivespecialist.com, and they have a target pool. Okay. I'm not going to send you the link. You could do that, but I'm just going to select kind of an image. Can you say like a 2-digit number below like 25?
17.
Okay, I'm fine with 17. Here's one with 17. So I'm going to click this. We have a target. I'm going to type its number into our chat so that you can see the number, so that it can't be changed. So I'm going to send this number to you. The 5-digit number for today's target is 091017. Okay. That corresponds to a particular image in this image pool. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you imagine the object or location that this thing represents. Okay. And I want you to know that it's like a real thing. It's not something that I've scribbled here on my pen and be like, haha, no, you didn't get it right. Like it's a real place that exists on Earth. Or if it's an object, it's like an object it's somewhere here. And what you're going to do is you're just going to tap your brain into where that thing is. And then you're just going to describe what comes to you.
Okay.
And the method,
I got you. The CIA did this?
Kind of the manner that you're going to do this in is you're not going to try and identify it. That's the main thing I want to get across. You're not going to tell me what you think it is. You're going to tell me the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts that appear into your brain. Okay, so let's say we don't normally do this, but let's say I have something in my brain and I'm like, oh man, it's like I'm getting the thoughts of like it's underground, okay, and it's kind of like circular, but okay, I'm also getting the feeling of like ugly, and maybe it's like life-giving. At some point in that, you might be like, underground, ugly. It's a mole. I bet it's a mole. Okay. Oh man, I'm getting something life-giving. Oh, it's a pregnant mole.
Oh, okay,
and it might end up being like a potato.
Okay, and that's how they find UFOs?
No. I'm saying that's not the way we want to do it.
That's how they found Osama bin Laden.
I don't want you to identify it as mole.
Yeah. So I'll just tell you what I'm thinking.
Just tell you what comes to me, like because it might be a potato, and you go and then you get veered along this path that your brain starts thinking logically. We're not going to think logically, and I want you to ignore proceed, even though you might get oxymorons. So what we're going to do is, for a second, we're going to calm down. And this is our test run. So audience, you're going to be able to do one with me in a minute. But for right now, me and Jace are going to have this...
what about me?
Me and Jace are going to have this experiment with Denali.
Oh, okay.
And then after, everybody's going to do it, okay? All thousands of people listening are going to do this along with us.
Oh, so nervous. Okay. What if I find something bad, Ryan?
That's a real thing. If you, like they say on this website, if you're like a water phobic, if you're scared of sharks, there's a chance this could be like a shark.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. I'm afraid of finding a rat in
I'll
my
tell you.
peanut
I'll
butter
tell you
when it
my
happened to
technique.
one guy.
Okay.
Okay.
My technique is I clear my brain, and in my brain I walk into a bank and I hand them my number. They lead me into a vault and they sit me down at a table, and they take the safety deposit box and they take it out of a shelf and they place it in front of me. And on that safety deposit box is my number. And
Feeling
in
really
that safety deposit
claustrophobic in the
box
vault.
is an image. It's a little picture.
The door shuts behind you.
Okay. Oh no! Get me out of here! Open the door.
The door could be open.
There's only 2 hours left of air.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
That's okay. It only takes 4 minutes.
Gotta find out what object it is.
Okay. I'll look at the box. What's the picture?
Calm down. Calm down.
Okay, I'm calm.
So you're sitting
Stay calm.
down. You're sitting down this table. It's not a hostile sort of bank, and there's carpet in the vault. It's a big vault.
Yeah. Okay.
And this person takes off a thing off the shelf,
Hope I
and
don't
they
stain the
put
carpet.
it put it down in front of you. And on the front of that case, Denali, you can keep your eyes open. You can keep them closed if you'd like. But on the front of that case is the number 091017. Okay.
Okay.
And inside of that case is a picture. I don't want you to try and guess what it is. I want you to tell me what it is. So take a few seconds, slow your brain down,
Yeah.
and if something pops into your subconscious, like a color or a texture,
Okay.
or maybe like an emotion,
What was the number again?
091017.
Okay, I'm getting something.
Okay, I'll write it down. So why don't you just tell me anything that pops in your brain, and I'll write it down for you.
Okay. Smooth.
Okay, that's great. Do you have any like try to maybe like let's get the bounds of this. What's the scope here? You know?
The scope.
Yeah, like does anything come to you when you sit for a second and you think about the size of what's represented?
Oh yeah. I'm thinking like Dodger Stadium. Like.
Okay, let's
Huge.
back off of identifying. So you're thinking of like huge.
Yeah. Huge, like the size of a stadium.
Okay.
Smooth and huge. Okay.
And what about colors? You know?
Ochre. Definitely an ochre color.
Okay,
in
I'm
here.
gonna just write that phonetically.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Jace, you're making me nervous.
I didn't know how to spell ochre.
It's just spell.
The whispering's making me nervous. I feel like the air in here is getting stuffy.
No, okay, I'll open the window.
My pants are too tight.
Nope.
I should have wore better clothes if I was gonna be in a vault.
I'll get you a better pair of clothes.
What if they find my body and they're like, "Wow, this guy dresses like
The
an
door's
idiot."
open.
Trap in the vault.
The door's
No.
open.
The vault.
Okay, no, come on. Let's get a little more.
Okay.
So sit for a second. Can you think of any sort of emotions?
Emotions. Hungry.
Are you just hungry, or is this thing giving you hungry?
Oh, dang it. Maybe I'm hungry. Okay.
I'll put a question mark on hungry.
Okay. Embarrassed.
Okay.
Smoking after sex.
Okay.
Any more? Do you
what
want more
about
stuff?
temperature? Is there any? Is it neutral? Is it
It's dewy.
dewy?
It's,
Oh, that's
It's
good.
dewy. It's like wet, and there's a moisture in the air.
Okay. And let me know when you don't have anything left. Like let's try and search for a couple more objects, or sorry, so a couple more feelings in this image, and then we'll.
Yeah, I smell like Oreo dust.
Oh.
Is that just you again?
Yeah. How? What was it me an Oreo?
Might just you again.
I smell it in front of me. I'm angry.
Oh.
I'm really angry, and I'm worried that my clothes aren't good enough to be in this bank vault.
Okay, I'm not gonna write that one down because I think you're kind of Jace poisoned the water. He's dressed like
shit in the bank vault. Oh god.
Oh no!
Okay, Denali, how about let's have you wake up, Denali. Let's have you come out. Hi, buddy.
Holy cow! Oh, I was in a trance. I literally feel like I was getting all these images in my head,
Yeah.
keeping my eyes closed.
So you did really good. I want to let's caution away from the Dodger Stadium stuff, but I did put like huge stadium sized. You didn't say outdoor, but you never know. It might not be. It might be indoors but big. Okay, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna send you the link. I'm now gonna paste the link into the chat, and then we can all click it. And I haven't clicked it yet. I don't know what the image is.
So this is like what it is?
Yeah, this is that link. This is that number represented.
Oh my god! Okay, I'm gonna click it. I'm terrified.
So then click it, and there should be something that says feedback, and it'll say show hide. Jace, you need to do this too. Okay, ready? 3,
Okay.
2, 1. Click feedback.
Oh.
Okay, so look at this. So here we have the image, everybody.
Okay.
is a outdoor cape. It's like the edge of like a ocean. It's kind of like rocky a little bit. It's
Cape
a lot of
Flaherty.
shadows. The sun's out.
Yeah.
It's outdoors. It's huge. Let's be very clear. The water is pretty smooth. The water's not very choppy.
And
So
it's dewy. It's moist because of the
it's
water.
dewy and there's water in the air. You said dewy, wet, moisture in air.
Holy shit.
Denali, are you afraid of heights, like ledges and stuff?
Yes, very, very.
Well,
very
this
afraid of
picture is
heights.
you standing on a ledge.
Holy shit! I'm a psychic. Oh my god.
Wow.
I can fucking visualize stuff. What am I
Yeah.
doing? I'm wasting my talents.
So that's giving you a little bit of a prompt. When I say,
Oh my
find the
God.
UFO base hidden underground in Mount Hayes, Alaska, you would
could
be
do
like, that's
could do
too
it.
much, right? We're
Oh.
gonna stick to anonymous, double-blind targets. Okay.
That's no, but I could Ryan. This power that I have.
He can do it, Ryan.
Julie has gotten really close a couple times. Julie has gotten like half the image is light, half is dark. There's people in a room. It's stuffy and there's slanted lines, but something in the corner is round. And it's like people in a basement playing with like things in the corner, like a speaker. She's like, there's blue. I see like two things of blue, and there's like two people wearing jeans. And it's like
Oh my god.
really, really cool.
Me and Julie could have a psychic battle and see.
Well,
who-
Jace might knock us out of the water.
Okay.
Not really
Jace,
interested.
Are you psychically? Yeah, Jace. Jace, you have to. You have to. You could be psychically sensitive.
This next one we're gonna do on our own time. We're gonna set it up, and we're gonna give the audience time to
Okay.
pause for 5 minutes.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
they can pause and they never come back if they want. That might be a very real thing that happens. Or they can just skip over the pause break and just and see what we come up with. We're gonna all do the same thing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna scroll and I'm just gonna pick one. Not really looking. I'm gonna pick this one. Okay. So our new number for the group sesh, and feel free to come along at home, guys.
Don't be scared, Jace. It was okay when I did it. I feel like I have a big psychic connection now.
And the reason I started doing this, or I felt comfortable doing it on the podcast, is because like I didn't feel any sort of like mockery or embarrassment when I started doing it. I was actually kind of like, oh, this is actually pretty fun.
I feel like I've unlocked an ability in my mind.
I feel like this is the way people get people into cults. We're like, I'm gonna have a random image, and you're gonna describe things that are
so
really
at the end of
obtuse,
the
and
episode, we're gonna
hopefully
roll
it's
out our
really
subscription
close.
program.
Ryan, I'm gonna Venmo you $18 right now.
So,
I just feel a huge inclination to Venmo you right now.
our group section. So our next one is at Ryan GBGBs Venmo.
Okay.
$25 sign.
$25
That's our next key number.
You'll have a guaranteed psychic reading.
Okay, no. So seriously, for our group sesh
Okay,
here,
okay. All right, let's
audience
do this,
included.
let's do
Okay, audience, pay attention. You
Fucking
can
do this.
you can write this down on a pad, and I want you to write down anything that pops into your brain. And the three of us
Yeah.
are going to do the same thing. We're not going to do it like last time, where we're going to talk each other through it. Jace, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But me and Denali, at least, are going to do this. Jace,
I'm
you can
unlocked,
write.
baby.
How about Jace? You write down random words and emotions and see how accurate those are.
Yeah. I'm unlocked, baby. I could fucking do this. Jace, you don't feel terrified of being a psychic, all right? I know you're a man of science. You're an engineer. You think with like gears and nuts and bolts and electricity, but this goes beyond science, man. This is like what goes on inside your inner eye, your mind's eye.
Uh-huh.
There's something science can't explain yet.
Oh, yet. Oh, Jace, what do you think of that? Yet, baby.
So
Maybe someday you're
our
gonna,
group
you're gonna seem
session
like a
number.
real Scrooge.
Our group session number
Okay.
is 0910.
Sounds like my
zero-
name, my number.
Denali?
It sounds like my number.
It's very close. It's from the same list of objects,
Okay.
but they're randomized. It's not like they're similar things. Our group number is 091004. Okay. 091004.
Okay, that's pretty different.
And you can use my technique of walking in the bank. You can clear your mind and just let things pop into your ether. But let's avoid identifying and just describe. Okay, let's take 2 or 3 minutes. Audience, you can pause now and do it yourself, or you can skip to 2 seconds from now.
You can use my technique of you're inside a submarine and you're on like a little MacBook Pro, and you go to like a website and you can type into a search bar. And what does the search bar say? That's my technique as just a certified psychic.
Okay.
I just thought right because like I had such a
Maybe
concession,
you type
I
in
could give-
091004
Oh,
and you
and
hit
then what?
search and you're waiting for it to load.
I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start.
Okay, so I will quickly think about a bunch of stuff, right?
Not quickly. Take a couple minutes.
Okay, I'm pretty fast, Ryan.
Okay, we got to let the audience have a break.
Okay, they're having a break right now while we're talking.
Okay.
I'm just trying to fill in time. We can't have dead air. That's an FCC
Can't
violation,
have
Ryan.
minutes of dead fucking air.
We're not going to have 2 minutes of dead air.
I worked in radio, Ryan.
We're
can't
not going to have
air.
2 minutes of dead air. We say, okay, we're going to do it.
You are-
Pause now if you want. And then
I'm detecting
we just
hostile
don't
psychic
put
energy,
It in the, we don't put in the
Ryan.
pause.
You're hurting my visualization with your raised voice. I cannot visualize my mind's eye when I'm being attacked.
I said I wanted to do a bit, and I said it's going to take 10 minutes, but now it's way longer.
I'm terrified. I'm in the vault again. Okay, I think I got a good list.
Well, I haven't even fucking started, so stop
Jesus.
talking.
Oh, fucking keep up, buddy.
Boom shakalaka!
You got me. I was actually a little bit out of it because my dog was right here next to me. I only got a few things.
Okay, I did get something though. I did legitimately get something.
Okay, everybody, we're back.
Okay.
That was 2 minutes for us, but it was 2 seconds for you. Does that make sense now?
Yeah, because we edit the show,
Yeah.
guys. So do we say?
So
Okay,
here I have the page loaded. I'm not going to send it to you guys yet because I don't want you to click on it and cheat a little bit. But
okay.
So I'll do mine first. I'll be vulnerable here. I got things like I felt like there was something like not a lot of like straight lines, but maybe like curved lines, and like it started getting like a little swirly for me. Purple was the only color that really came to mind, but I imagine like concentric. Like there was things that were wider and things that were more narrow, and it reminded me of like a topographic map almost, but like the way that like there are lines around something that's like raised. That's mine.
Okay, that's pretty detailed. I was just thinking I was in like it's like I felt dark, like I smelled leather, and it was like, it felt like someone was behind me.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't
I don't like that.
No, I don't. And then it's like, it smells like musty. It's
Well, I'll let you know about 75% of these images are like recycled BDSM stuff. So
I'm realizing what it sounds like as I'm saying it. But when I said leather, I was thinking like saddles, or like
okay.
something. Like I wasn't even.
not glossy black leather.
No. This is just
Fresh
I
off
literally
the
want to channel. This is what the webpage showed me. All right, I swear. No, but I did see that, or I felt that, I guess. Yeah, I feel like someone's behind me.
Okay, I'll send the link here.
That sounds worse.
I wrote
was
gray, metal, cool, outdoor, small, duality, obtuse, old.
Nice. Great.
Okay.
It took me 10 seconds to write those adjectives because I pulled them out of my ass. The same way you pulled out all the things out of your
Okay,
ass.
Mr.
Over 2
Psychic.
minutes.
Well,
Jace.
we'll see who's an idiot here. So I sent the link to 091004.
It's gonna be an old guy outside, Jace, or whatever.
Okay,
he said.
I'm gonna click on feedback.
Okay.
It's a strapping young man sitting in the ocean.
It's
Oh
a
my
young
God.
man prepares to dive into a wave off the island of Oahu, Hawaii. So
Rough dude.
pretty good.
So, how
There's-
close were we?
So you said there was someone behind you?
Yeah.
This image is the back of somebody.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm behind him.
I said swirly. His shorts look a little
Swirly.
swirly. His shorts might be purple. The ocean is kind of purpley blue.
Wow, those flowers look gray. He's wearing swim trunks that probably have a metal aglet on them.
Mm-hmm.
It's outside and there's a breeze, so it's cool outdoors. He's pretty small in the picture.
Yeah.
The duality of the ocean in the sky, plus
Oh my God.
there's an angle being formed that's pretty
Yeah.
obtuse, and we don't know how old he is.
Look at this arm there.
Next,
yeah.
please.
Jace.
Jace, you did a
Jace,
really
you're
good job, buddy.
psychic.
You're
Holy
pretty good.
Fuck, dude. I feel like I'm like Salieri and you're like Mozart, who just came in with like a beautiful piece of music.
I'm deaf.
You're like an incredible
that's
psychic. Beethoven was deaf. Mozart had syphilis. That's what he had.
Whoa. Wait, how'd you know?
It's in his Wikipedia page. Wow, that's incredible.
So that's-
free masterclass series on this fucking website. Right? If you ever fucking
Yes.
pay for this shit, I'm gonna slap you.
So
Listen.
everybody, pay me money. I'll teach you how to remote view. Use it to
And this
find
was-
those hidden UFO bases. You can extort money out of like grief-stricken families. You know, if their like,
Club.
child goes missing, you can find the child.
Listen, we're gonna start
my
a
God.
spin-off podcast. This was kind of a taste
Yes.
of this, where
This
the
was a-
three of us will be
This
doing
was a little
remote
Trojan
viewings.
horse for my side podcast I've been planning.
3 times a week, we will post episodes of remote viewings.
We're gonna find those UFOs, guys. I swear, we're really close.
Guys, if you go to the fucking, I just want to go to the drop down of this website for classes and then clubs,
Yeah.
and there's a club PRV advanced level. But this is what I think is funny. Monthly cost for advanced/operational mentoring club: $49 payable in US dollars only, but by debit or credit card. And then says, please note, there will be times that we have to change the normal date or time of meeting due to circumstances beyond our control.
Which is hilarious.
Are these guys on the
The
run?
fact that you can't see it coming.
But, I thought we were psychic, guys.
I have to give you my credit card number. Can't you see it, bro? Can't you fucking visualize it?
You can get the money if you think about what this picture
No,
shows.
there's also a class for how to gamble with it.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
People were like betting on
Oh my-
the Super Bowl and stuff because they're like,
That's-
I saw somebody, he's catching a ball, he's in the end zone, there's red, people are cheering, and they're drawing pictures of like a guy catching a ball, and they're like,
That's
this is
not
my
helpful
prediction
for
for the
this
Super Bowl.
Well,
No,
you know,
but it's great, guys. Do it. It's a fun meditation thing. It's just for fun.
spend your money on this, Ryan says.
Send us
It
send us
works.
gobs of money.
It 100% works. And I mean, look, if the guys in this movie had the ability to remote view,
That's what I'm saying. They
This is a
I was thinking-
$1,000 course
I was
for the
thinking, like-
CRV shit on this website.
I was thinking, dude, in Gangster Squad, there's like a scene where some dude shows up to the house that they're eavesdropping from.
Yeah.
How did he figure that out? He remote viewed
viewing.
that shit.
He remote viewed it. That's how Mickey Cohen had eyes everywhere. They're like, Mickey, I'm sorry, the place burned down.
How'd you
He's like,
know?
I already
How'd you know it was me?"
knew it. I'm a remote viewer.
Now that's actually a good premise.
short-range radio.
That's a really.
No, it's the psychic stuff. Chief.
Can we workshop a deli dude who can remote
Yeah.
view like really?
Dude,
he can
that's
only
already-
see TV remotes.
That's already Bread Bowl, the guy who puts the bread bowl on his head and he sees the other people with deli dude powers. He's remote viewing.
Huh.
It's the bread that it wasn't he
Yeah.
called the Bread Whisperer, where he can remote view with bread.
The
Like,
bread
he can
bowl
see
was
what
pretty good.
But he also
bread.
hears bread talking, and he's
Yeah, he hears.
He can hear what bread hears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ooh,
good.
that's how he remote views.
Yeah.
I'm getting something through a loaf of Dave's Killer
Heroin
Bread,
shipment.
Pacific Northwest.
Burbank Airport.
Guy's eating a sandwich in the car.
I hear, ow! Oh my god!
Oh, it's the bread. That's the bread in pain.
It's the bread in the oven. Oh God, there's so much bread in ovens. Oh God.
Okay, let's get in the Gangster Squad. Sorry,
folks,
who's ever
we
picked
watched-
this was.
Thank you, Ryan, for the remote viewing, and join us next week for another remote viewing as well. We're going to be doing this every episode from now on. That's great. We watched Gangster Squad this week, folks. So maybe come back to reality. Come back to this viewing that we had last night. And Jace, was this your pick? I remember we had a little deliberation last time about picking a movie.
Yeah.
And you wanted to pick a bad one.
I did.
And I just want to say, Bullseye.
Yeah.
So,
Thank goodness. Not.
but we're
that-
not going to review it yet. We're not going to reveal what we thought. So, Jace, you want to give the synopsis of this movie?
This. You guys think this is this an ensemble cast movie or not? Because
I think
because
this
they
is
don't
pretty
give
darn
enough people. Okay. Yeah.
who sold their soul to get this cast. Like, this is like movie 43.
True. Gangster Squad tells the story of a crew of, I think, like 6 LA police officers post World War II servicemen, essentially, in their battle against Californian mobster Mickey Cohen. And they're an unsanctioned kind of no names, no quarter given group of ragtag individuals that consist of Ryan Gosling playing the kind of, not the lead, but
It's like pseudo lead,
maybe the
right?
two-man.
Like, yeah, number 2, second build.
Josh Brolin as Sergeant John O'Mara. Giovanni Ribisi as the Wire. An old cowboy guy. And his...
Was he a cop? Was he just some guy?
I don't know. I felt like he was just a cowboy guy. And then his companion, his young... That guy's not listed on here.
Navidad, Michael Pena.
Michael Pena.
Yeah.
As they try to take down Sean Penn.
I can't believe you guys didn't recognize Arpat. Was he just under too much makeup?
Robert Pattinson.
No, the gunslinger guy, Robert Patrick.
Yes.
I thought we were gonna do a whole Arpat season.
Robert Patrick.
I just watched an Arpat movie the other day. This is like the third one I've watched this week.
He's not even on the list of 9 people.
He's in. He's the bad guy in Terminator 2.
Oh, he was.
He's the friend in Fire in the Sky.
Ah, yes, I've seen that movie for sure.
Come on.
He's not in Top Cast. That's.
He's a character actor.
Yeah, well, Arpat, I don't know. He has ups and downs in your career.
Maybe you shouldn't call him Arpat. I think Arpat's reserved for a different Arpat, maybe who's like earned it.
Oh, you're talking about Arpat 2?
No, God, no. This is Arpat 2. This guy is Arpat 2.
I think he's way older than Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, but he's less cool right now, so he gets reserved as.
I don't think Robert Patrick is less cool than Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson is over 100 years old as of Twilight, so maybe check your Wikipedia entries.
Guy's from Ohio. Ugh.
Yeah, fuck Ohio.
Fuck Ohio.
Any Ohio listeners, turn this off.
Brent's wife. I don't think she listens, so Brent, shout out to you.
No, she can listen. No, she but no one else from Ohio. Anyways, this movie, little piece of LA history, kind of a little treat for me. But it was almost completely fabricated when you look at the Wikipedia page.
It says based on a true story. That means...
Yeah. Doesn't that mean usually that it's like even more fictional than if it was completely made up?
Well, the actors are real people, and they're actually doing some of the stuff that's on screen. So in that way, like some of the stuff actually happened.
That's true. Ryan's precogging again.
I saw this whole thing happen. The way this was written was some guy in a room. He's like, this happened. I swear to God.
He's past cogging.
Yeah, I mean, like, the LAPD creating an unsanctioned force who just indiscriminately commits violence among huge swaths of people, I think was accurate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that was pretty par for the course. And then, like, I sent you guys a photo the other day, or yesterday, about Mickey Cohen, who's in this movie. I peed in the same toilet he did. There's a place called Cole's downtown, which has invented the French dip, and they have a urinal that said Mickey Cohen pissed here. So if you guys want to piss the same toilet he did, I mean, they probably switched it out at least once since he pissed there. But
and so Mickey Cohen was an actual shitbag.
So he was a real guy. But apparently he was. There was one. I was reading an AMA from the guy who wrote the Gangster Squad piece in the Washington Post or whatever. Turns out I had read this AMA 12 years ago in actual real life. But he was saying, he was like, yeah, Mickey Cohen didn't act like that. Whatever Michael Penn was doing, that was just some cartoon shit. Yeah, and I think straight off the get, you see Sean Penn in this movie, giving a pretty big performance, right? He's kind of punching a bag, and is that O'Mara talking with Sean Penn punching the bag? Where he's like, everyone's got a bag.
I don't know who the character's name is, but it's Josh Brolin.
Okay, yeah. Sean Penn gives a very huge performance in this movie that I don't like at all. Well,
what I didn't understand is in the trivia it said Sean Penn sat for makeup for 3 hours every morning, and I was like, why? It's there's no makeup on his face at all. It looks exactly like Sean Penn. It's not like he has a prosthetic.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing because I was looking. Sometimes his face looks a little weird. There's something off. Maybe his eyebrows.
Scar tissue above his eye or something. I don't know.
I think they were fucking with him. I think they were hazing him.
Oh yeah, we're totally there's totally makeup on this brush.
Oh, we got to put so much
prosthetic
on.
I hate getting up at 4 a.m. and sitting in this chair every day.
I don't watch the dailies. All right, I don't watch myself on screen. I'm self-conscious. Take your guys' word for it. Yeah. I mean, first watch for you guys. Have you seen Gangster Squad? What do you guys?
I think I got an hour and 50 minutes in before I was like, wait, I've seen this movie.
It's the worst feeling watching a movie like this and being like, God damn it, this is a second watch.
I have seen this. I kind of remember the fact that I've seen this, but I remember the entire time I was watching it, I was thinking that this is absolutely not memorable or comprehensible in any way.
And this is coming in 2013. This is at the point where, I think we're kind of thinking about Ryan Gosling as a cool actor. We're like, oh shit, he's in this movie. Maybe we should see this. It's funny. I wonder, I was going to hit up Joe about this because I think I saw this in theaters with Joe. That would have been good.
Poor bastard.
But I remember we walked out, and whoever I was, maybe it was Joe, maybe it was someone else, but I remember audibly saying, that wasn't very good. And not to spoil anything, but it wasn't.
I need to break the tension because I don't want this to be shitting on this thing for a half hour. I'm going to come with a little bit of an opposite opinion on that.
Oh.
Yeah.
About whether or not it was good?
Yeah.
Oh, this is fun.
So we can actually talk about the movie, and we can talk about what scenes worked and didn't work for us.
No, this is good. All right. I didn't visualize this before we did this.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
the gangster dude precogged in this too. He was like, "Oh, they're cops. They didn't steal my money."
Yes, exactly.
What's like? I noticed in all mob movies, there's always that opening of like a brutal torture scene.
Absolute brutal murder. Yeah.
Like, okay, I don't want to know, but can a guy?
I think the arms would come off.
Okay,
right?
like
I was thinking about that for quite a bit.
Chest.
Okay, he was ripped in half by two cars. Yeah. So you think the
kind of the old quartering and drawing sort of idea, right? Where they used to tie people up to 4 horses.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. The strongest thing holding you together there is skin and your spinal column. If you're coming apart somewhere, you're coming apart in the middle.
Think so?
I feel like the bumpers would come off.
Yeah.
Before.
What if he just like went like hulked it and just like gosh, and like ripped off both bumpers of both cars, and they're like, oh fuck, and he started like yanking those chains and swinging the bumpers around. That would have been cool.
And he's like, I'm Bumper Man, and they shoot him.
I'm a deli dude. No, he takes the bumpers. He takes the bumpers and he starts like just whipping the bullets back at them, like. Zoom, zoom.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine if the intro to that movie was I'm Bumper Man, he's swinging around bumpers with chains, he kills like a bunch of guys, and then he dies in a rain of bullets, and Mickey Cohen's like, what the fuck was that?
and then it just titles, Gangster Squad.
Anyway, back to being a gangster.
I'm a cop, it's 1940.
Mickey Cohen, like an hour into the movie, he's like, you guys remember that Bumper Man guy? What the fuck was that?
I think about him every night.
Or
that was like the craziest thing I've ever seen.
When they're wiretapping him on his house, and Giovanni Ribisi is sitting there, he's like, heroin shipment. He's scared of someone named Bumper Man.
He's mentioned Bumper Man 400 times.
I think we got the wrong house, guys.
He cries when he mentions Bumper Man. He must be a huge player.
You know?
How did he survive that?
Bumper Man, straight out of Chicago. Maybe. Wait, is there vehicle manufacturing in Chicago?
I think so. Yeah, Steel Belt. It's in the Rust Belt.
He fell into a car factory line. He came out, Bumper Man.
He can be killed, just not by cars.
Yeah, his weakness is bullets. Yeah.
So they only use cars. If they would have shot him, they would have been fine.
Yeah, there was a scene in there where Mickey was like, oh, you seem awfully calm now that you're strapped to cars. And he's like, fuck you, Mickey. Because he's like, I'm going to fucking bust out Bumper Man. Idiot. Bumper Man these guys.
Fine,
Mickey, listen, don't shoot me. Please attach me to 2 cars and try to rip me in half. It's like,
not the car thing.
I've designed this Bumper Man outfit, and I've been wearing it underneath my clothes for 6 weeks, waiting for this to happen.
Mickey, how come you're tearing this guy in half? Oh, he's been he's been wearing this outfit under his clothes for 6 weeks, and he won't take him off.
There's another guy who's like, don't you think that's a little convenient, Mickey? Think about it. He's got this car. It says Bumper Man on his chest, and it's got a picture of a car, and he's lifting it up.
What does that even mean?
You're trying to kill him with cars?
What does Bumper Man even mean?
What if he's some sort of superhuman, and this is the only way he gets out of it? Wait, we're getting really close to the plot of my book.
Spoilers. TM to all of that. TM, you guys cannot steal any of that shit. So, Josh Brolin in this movie. He's not Bumper Man. He's a hard-boiled WW2 vet.
I thought you were going to say WWE, because nobody says WW2.
That's how it's spelled. He's a cop, but he's not afraid to take on the mob. And you see him as a one-man army. Mm-hmm. I remember in the theaters in 2013 being like, okay, like this is going to be a grounded mob movie. Let's go. And you see Josh Brolin, and it's like the Captain America scene in the elevator. I don't know what he's thinking. He's got like 2 guys with guns at him, and he's like, hua, 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 and he's like Daredevil style, I think he kills like 16 dudes single-handedly.
Well, also he brazenly walks into a room with his hand in his pocket, like he's hiding a gun, like you do when you know you don't have a gun and you're not trying to actually convince anybody you have a gun. You're trying to convince them that you're faking having a gun. He walks in his hand, his pockets in his suit jacket, or his hands in his suit jacket pocket, and he's like, "All right, guys, put your hands up." And you think they're gonna think he doesn't have a gun. He's just his hand. And so they're going to attack him. But it's going to turn out that he has a real gun.
Because he was just in an elevator
with
3 guns.
And then he takes his hand out of his pocket and no, he doesn't actually have a gun. And it's like a 3-minute long fist fight.
And he has to do there's a gun on the table I need to get to. And it's like.
And then he immediately flips that table and picks up a stool.
And hits him with it.
This is what we were talking about lead poisoning in the early 20th century. He's got a stool, Jesus Christ.
Also, the whole time this is happening, there's a woman trapped in a Murphy bed.
Yeah, is that what they call it? The bed
which is like
flips
something
down?
they would just pull out of like a hat. All right, who put Murphy bed in here, you jackass?
Now we got to write it into this scene. Murphy beds, I always think about that, like people getting stuck into the wall like they always do in cartoons.
Yeah, she was chilling though.
in
That was like the safest place for her. She was fine. She was like,
bullets
"Get me out of
flying
here!"
everywhere.
Not because I'm uncomfortable trapped in this Murphy bed, but because this is just a weird situation.
Yeah, that 1 inch of drywall and a mattress is going to stop the hundreds of bullets coming through.
Nothing stops bullets in this movie.
So Jace, that's a great thank you, because we made that comment a couple times, and like, I remember growing up in the country shooting guns. We would make our own like targets, and stuff, and you would be surprised at what a bullet goes through. We would take like half-inch
to a murder
steel
right now,
plates.
Ryan? Okay,
No, we would take like half-inch steel plates and make targets out of them. And depending on the gun, it would go through them.
Right. So like a plant, like a potted plant, probably wouldn't stop hundreds of bullets.
So that's on the stop list. Potted plants are on the stop list.
A thin car door, maybe.
That's on the stop list. Also, particle board, like from tables and stuff, the cheap tables. That stops.
When you flip over a table, that stops. A paper boy, or a shoe shine boy, probably.
It doesn't stop.
This is an interesting actual aspect of this, because I wanted to Google it really quick. Those Tommy guns that mobsters always use a round called 45 ACP, and if we watched a lot of Mythbusters growing up, right? And they were always like finding firearms or cannons or something and shoot them in that big ballistic gel.
Yeah.
Apparently that one of those bullets could go through 3 feet of ballistic gel.
Yeah, 45s are pretty big.
Yes.
So it is still weird that like they can go through 3 walls in a house, but
oh my God.
Whatever.
But not other things.
Yeah. Guns are dangerous. Holy shit, guys. We should. This is changing
Whoa.
things for me. This is changing things. I mean, this movie too, like the way they treat bullets. We've talked about this in their John Wick episode, obviously. Like no reloading, infinite ammo glitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you shoot in the Tommy gun, it's for 30 straight seconds, nonstop. And everyone has like supernatural fighting powers. At this point, I'm like in my head, I'm like dadcore. This is dadcore. To 100%.
To its bones, in the DNA.
Down to like the speech of like, a man's got to do what he's got to do. Every man has a badge at some point.
And also the fact that like the bad guy, Mickey Cohen, is like a champion boxer. It's like that's like how he got his start and his money and stuff. And that's what he's famous for. And Josh Brolin is like this cop, and he's just like a married man with a pregnant wife who's doing the right thing. And they have a 1v1 boxing match. And the whole movie is about how nobody can beat up Mickey Cohen because he's like one of the world's best boxers. And then Josh Brolin just takes him to fucking town at the end of the movie.
I think the weight classes
There's
probably
a reason there are weight classes and Mickey Cohen is old as shit.
But they're squaring up, you know?
Yeah.
And like it's pretty funny, like just thinking, like, this is some sort of like male fantasy. This is some sort of like
100%.
I know he's a
throw the
badass,
gun.
but he hasn't run into me.
Yeah. What's funny too is he does shit like that, right? We see this whole intro where the guy was like, "You didn't have a warrant? You shot like 60 guys." And like he's like, "I don't give a fuck." And he does all this shit, beats up random people. And there's a scene with his wife and she's like, "I married an honest cop. What can I say?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just do it by the book. It's, I can't
85
help it."
extrajudicial killings a week.
And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? The guy was completely deranged. And it's also like, there's people who talk about, like, there's Mickey Cohen's a pretty popular mobster figure in kind of American culture, right? He didn't go to jail like this. Like, we don't have to dwell on this, but he went to jail for
tax evasion.
They get everybody. Yeah, that's what Al Capone got. Yeah.
Everybody gets caught for tax evasion, baby. And it's tax season right now. Let me tell you what, mobsters.
Yeah, folks. go to Free File. Don't give H&R Block your money.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool. They did send him to Alcatraz.
Yeah, they did. And I heard, didn't he get out after like a year? I think he was one of the first people who got bailed out of Alcatraz. The other thing too is like, he never dealt heroin. Like that was a thing like on his Wikipedia page where he was famously against drugs and he only did the gambling stuff.
What a stand-up guy.
Gosling shows up at this point. I get a text from you guys that says, "Is he doing a voice?" ? And he's doing a voice.
Yeah.
And that's where we see the voice. And like even Amber was like, "What the fuck is he doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take a drink, please." And I remember this being in the trailer in 2013 where he's talking to Emma Stone. He's like, "No, I was just hoping to take you to bed." And it did not work. It was
and then he's like, "I play post office." And she's like, "What's post office?" And he's like, "Oh, you know, it's a game." And she's like, "That's a children's game." And he's like, "Not the way I play it." It's
what
like,
if someone said that about Roblox or something?
How
like,
do you
or Minecraft?
But also, what the fuck is post office? Does
It's
he
a
mean
game where you-
doctor?
I pretend to be mailman. I work behind the desk. I'm like, "Oh, you got some mail today, sir?" She's like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?" Jesus.
Totally interesting note there that like how many things have just fallen to the wayside as as it's no longer 1950.
Yeah, we have Zelda now. We don't need post office.
We've got video games.
We got Mario Kart,
play
baby.
With our friends outside. Sardines? What is it?
There was a 12-year-old working a job on the streets in this movie. All right,
Making
I was working the Halo lobbies.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Prestiged.
Ryan killed that kid. Let's be clear.
Why did he push him that direction?
Killed that kid. If you watch this movie, at some point, Mickey Cohen's goons are coming for his other mob boss rival who tried to fuck with him. He fucked with him at a dinner, and he sentenced himself essentially to mob death. And Ryan Gosling sees some people from that guy's crew coming out of a car. He gets a weird premonition. He sees another car across the street.
It. He remote views this happening.
He sees he precogs these 4 guys with Tommy guns coming out looking sketchy. And instead of sending this young child away down the street from where the men are walking, he's like, "You gotta get out of here." Pushes him. He's like, "You gotta leave." And pushes him into the path.
Yeah, I thought maybe what was happening was they didn't block this correctly with the camera. Maybe they didn't get matching eye lines.
Well, I think it makes sense for his character because Ryan Gosling's a bit of a loose cannon, so he needed someone to distract the shooters. And I think because he was able to get the kill shot after
he wanted to get away.
The kid. So I think he needed somebody to distract him. And he was annoyed by the kid the whole movie. He was like, "Go home, kid. Get the fuck out of here."
He wanted his dollar back.
Yeah, I think
he roughed him up a little bit afterwards, kind of desecrating a corpse there, Ryan.
There's a deleted scene of him taking his
that
dollar
actually
back
wasn't in the script. Ryan Gosling just really needed that dollar.
They're like, "Ryan, we can just give you another dollar."
Down. He spent all his notebook money. He hasn't met his wife yet. Hasn't met Ava yet.
Well, you know, that's why he got this role, right? Because it was to fund his directorial debut. He agreed to be in this movie for that.
Oh.
So
was
Ryan,
that the other movie that I pitched?
Yeah, the one. Well, I mean, yeah, he directed it, right? And this movie is tied to that, Jace.
Oh.
I mean, like, it kind of makes sense because I feel like he has a good agent or whatever, or like he picks good movies, and this is kind of a weird movie for him to pick. I think in his grand scheme of things, you're kind of like, why this one? But I mean, we look at the jazz club scene, right? This is kind of where it's kind of getting period piecey. He meets Emma Stone, lights her cigarette. He seems very cool. I have no idea why she's into it. It's really creepy.
He says like 3 sentences, right?
I play post office. I want to take you to bed.
I'm a Bible salesman.
I'm a Bible. The magic 3-sentence pickup line, I think, that works on anybody.
And she also apparently believed him, right? Like, because later she's like, "Why didn't you tell me you were a cop?" It's like, well,
I was doing a bit earlier.
Did you think that he was you went to his house? You like almost live there? Like you're there all the time? and there's never any Bibles.
I don't know. I feel like she knew, right? She seems like kind of
She knew
sharper than
something
she
was
leads
up,
on.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think maybe she thought he was like a mob guy. We build up to the scene. Everyone likes a good recruitment scene. We talked about this in other movies. What did you guys think of the recruitment scene?
I think that was it was a little bit of tonal whiplash because I feel like it was so dadcore and so grimy up to that point that I was like, whoa. But I did actually enjoy it. It was like a breath of fresh air with some light joking. Like we said previously, an ensemble cast where they each had something quirky going on. And I think they meant it as a break, a kind of comedic relief break in there. But it was also just, I don't know, maybe the one time in the movie felt like that.
Yeah.
I agree. I was hoping the movie would be more like this, where it's like
Not
kind
so
of like
serious.
fun and exactly, like tongue in cheek.
I really liked Arpat's little bit where he's supposed to be this gunslinger, and so Josh Brolin does the classic thing you do with the gunslingers: you sit down across from a table. They've been doing it since Han Solo and everything. It's like, oops, clumsy me, and he knocks a beer bottle off the table while saying, "I need a gun hand." And Robert Pattinson draws his gun and catches the beer before it hits the ground.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Arpat.
Well, that's the thing you should do a gunslinger is go to him to pull his gun out
Yes.
In public.
in public. And then what was the other the guy who throws a knife at a drug dealer?
Yeah, freaking the Falcon shows up.
Yeah.
And
Anthony Mackie. Holy shit.
Yeah, Papa Doc.
I totally forgot to admit Anthony Mackie had the coolest character.
We had
Fucking
guys. We
throwing
had
knife
Papa
expert,
Doc
like-
and Cheddar Bob. Did you guys catch Cheddar Bob in here?
I don't know who any of those people are.
And we couldn't deduce why he threw the knife at the guy's hand then, and then went back to drinking a beer.
Loose cannon.
Yeah, he was like, I hate drugs. And I think he thought that guy was going to hand some drugs over, I think.
Oh.
And then he knifed him in the hand.
And then just walked away, and everybody's like, haha.
Yeah, the party resumes. And if I saw a cop throw a knife at a guy, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Also, like, why is a cop throwing knives? We have a cop on the force who's walking around, and his weapon of choice is throwing knives? Like, what is this? It's not
Don't have to
feudal
document
Japan.
knife throws. So much paperwork with the guns. The knife. No paperwork.
Didn't fire a bullet, Chief. You killed 8 people.
They fell on their
Fire a
knives.
bullet.
Max Kennard in this movie, the cowboy, right? We mentioned this before. The way he's recruited is Mrs. O'Mara is basically showing the character. She's like, look at this magazine. This guy's good at shooting. Is he a cop? Did we confirm at all if he's just someone who just?
I don't think Arpat's a cop.
She's like, he has 100 confirmed kills. What is this man doing outside of prison?
Well, he's ineffectively breaking people out of prison.
Yeah.
Remember?
True.
Yes, he did break someone out of prison.
So
too.
there's a scene about maybe 40% of the way through this movie, and the cops, since they're like off the books squad, they try to break into one of Mickey Cohen's gambling houses to shut them down because that's their plan. They're gonna go after all of his sources of income, and there's cops there, so they get into a shootout with other cops and they lose, and a couple of them get kidnapped, and then the rest of the gangster squad has to break them out, and it doesn't really do great. And it's a really weird scene because then, like, it doesn't really affect what happens for the rest of the movie. They're just like, oh, on to the next.
He tries to break them out like an 1800s cowboy would break out.
Yeah, like
someone out of jail.
Wile E. Coyote trying to break someone out.
He like wraps a rope around the bars, and of course the bumper comes off. They're like, oh shit, it's concrete. Oh fuck. And then I did like the Ryan Gosling going up and passing a charisma check at the front of the jail, and they're like, "Oh, right this way, sir." And he's like, "I'm looking for the guys. I'm Johnny One Hat or whatever he says." He says like a good line, and then it all goes to shit. I liked that scene.
So the premise of that scene, audience, is that they got caught trying to shut down Mickey Cohen's place because there were cops, like local cops there. They're in Burbank. They're like a little bit out of LA, and so they get brought back to the jail.
A little bit. Out of LA.
Right. Denali would say they're not in LA.
I think
They're
it
not
might
in
be
LA.
it might be
It's
right
Burbank.
across the park. The big
It's near
park
the mountains
from
that get
Denali.
snow.
It's the other side of the mountain, and that mountain does not get snow.
And so they're put in like a jail cell with the local thing. And then the bad cops call Mickey Cohen and say, send someone down here. We got some people who are trying to knock your place up. And so the Mickey Cohen gangsters are on the way to kill and torture Josh Brolin and the crew. And so Ryan Gosling is like, at this point, his paperboy's been killed, and he's really upset about his shoes not being fully shined. So he's taking his vengeance out on Mickey Cohen. And so he comes over and he impersonates the gangsters that are supposed to show up to the police station. And he says, "I'm those gangsters. I'm both of them at the same time," and tries to break them out, essentially, and helps them get out.
I think it's a fun scene.
It's a little bit. It's like something you'd see in like the Little Rascals or something.
Yeah, it's a bit. There's a couple other scenes here. They're kind of being like, wild dudes. They're punching people in the face. They're shooting people. There's a scene where they shoot 2 guys in the leg and throw them down a hill.
Oh my God.
Which are, if you get shot in the leg, you could die. Like that's probably gonna die.
I said that. I was straight away shot. I was like, that dude's gonna bleed out. It's like, what?
That's like the Batman being like, "No killing," as he like throws a guy off a roof.
And then one of the people on this police officer squad is like, what the fuck are we doing? What's the difference between us and them right now, man? That was sadistic. And he's like, Josh Brolin's like, "We gotta stop him. You stay here tonight."
Josh Brolin like grabs him by the cheeks. He's like, "This is the only fucking way we gotta deal with these guys." And he's like, "What about systemic change and kind of changing the circumstance so that people like this don't?" Because shut the fuck up, you fucking pansy. We're gonna fucking kill these guys, along with hundreds of civilians.
And that's the dude who gets remote view choked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The irony is that this character who has the moral compass ends up being the victim because he stays behind for one of the missions and hangs out at their safe house, which apparently the way they found it.
Garage.
Apparently the way they found it is that the guy's choking out the dude after they find the wiretap. They track Giovanni Ribisi's character down, who's listening to the wiretap, because the bad guy says those radios only work short range. How short is it that you could find out where the radio thing is? Because, like, could you just see it?
I'm sure they did something, right? Did they follow the wire? Regardless, this guy didn't die in real life. Like, this guy was the longest lived of the whole Gangster Squad. Like, yeah. But, like, the cop he's playing as, like, he died of old age. So, like, I think they just made some shit up. I don't know, like, maybe Mickey, he's like a ham radio enthusiast and is able to backlog the thing. Because he's talking on the radio to the guy. And what does upset me about that scene, when the guy gets choked, it's really sad. His headphones fall off, and then Mickey is like, "Nothing personal, it's just business." But the guy never gets to hear it, because the headphones are on the ground. Yeah, and I guess he never gets to hear it, man. Nothing personal.
You gotta wear your headphones the entire assassination attempt so that you know the person who called it is like doesn't really have anything personal against you.
Yeah, and this is totally random, but like the guy who's doing the assassinating, his coat lights on fire in a totally random
I was
stunt.
like, "Oh shit, he's gonna get saved because the bad guy's gonna catch on fire."
What was that?
No.
The bad guy's like
the tiniest bit of ounce of hope.
Yeah. But the bad guy like knows that it happened and then just like takes his coat off and just kind of like throws it and like is not worried at all that he's literally on fire.
Yeah, so I'm like, was this just filmed in the scene? Like, was this an accidental? His coat lit on fire,
and they can't retake. With the stuntman's like, "I quit."
And the director's like, "Holy shit, that's a fucking sweet ass shot! Oh my god!" And thank God Giovanni Ribisi played dead and just in time before this guy burned to death. It was really bizarre. I feel like that should have been something else. And in a movie full of gravelly voices, you have Nick Nolte just coming out with the graveliest.
And he was trying to be intelligible too. Like,
wait, Jace, how come you don't like Nick Nolte?
It's just I don't know. I find his voice and the way he's cast just annoying.
Hey, fucking guy! Like,
not in general. You don't have you don't have enough of a history with Nick Nolte to have like a big opinion about him.
No, they have beef.
Yeah,
those 2 guys.
Straight up.
I hate Nick Nolte.
Jace cut in line in the hot dog line at Key Arena. Nick Nolte, I think he steals the scenes in this. I think he's playing really big. It's really ridiculous. And it's a series of gags, like Ryan said. It's like you get a bunch of shit. You get the first good Gosling scream, I think, in this movie, where the guy comes up to Emma Stone with a thing of acid, where he punches the guy in the face. He's like, "Where is it? Where is it?" And the guy's like, "It's over there." He grabs the acid, pours it on the guy's balls. I think that was a good scene.
That was Cheddar Bob. Acid balls.
Was that Cheddar Bob?
Acid ball.
Who the fuck is Cheddar Bob? You keep saying that. What is that?
Cheddar 8 Mile.
Papa Doc.
Oh my
Cheddar Bob,
God,
they're rivals.
You're right. I forgot about this guy.
Something always happens to his balls.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my thing. You want me in your movie? Something's got to happen to my balls.
I happen my balls. God
the
damn.
same thing with Nick. He's like, you gotta
let me stare at the camera and talk like this.
he's barely alive, guys. We got to give him this job.
I don't
yeah.
I generally don't like him. I don't know why, but it is funny that he was 4-leaf Tayback in Tropic Thunder.
He's pretty good.
Maybe that's why I don't like him, because that character was such a piece of shit.
I mean, at this point, like, people are starting to die, right? People are like, O'Mara, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you still doing this? And he's just like, it's like I'm still at war. I can't get a therapist, man. I just gotta still do this shit. He's kind of laying it on the table of like, I can't stop fighting. And he has that moment with Ryan Gosling where he's like, we're vets, we're traumatized, and this is how we take out our trauma, by doing all this crazy extrajudicial shit. And what happens? There's a showdown, right?
Yeah, they siege his hotel.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's kind of it plays out exactly how you would predict a movie about a squad of kind of off the books cops who are trying to track down a gangster, and there has to be one final scene. What do you think happens? There's a kind of a compound scene, and they have to kind of like defeat all the bad guys' army, and they get this kind of a shootout, but the bad guys like getting away, and they kind of stop him from getting away, and maybe like all the other bad guys are dead at this point, so there's just the big bad guy left, and so the main character like fist fights him and wins.
1v1, baby.
This has all the story beats of a car movie.
Oh no.
Without
Can
the
you tell this
racing
story?
and-
Can you tell this story but with cars, Jace?
Can I tell it?
Yeah.
Car O'Mara is a rough
No,
and
not
tumble
with car
car.
people, but with like if this was a car movie, what would be going on?
And Mickey Karin is a bad car.
I think the final fight here is really the end of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Mickey Cohen's car racing for pink slips goes over the edge. He gets
shit.
the shit
Yeah.
beat out of him.
What if Mickey Cohen's like, we're not the same weight class? Wait, I can't fight like this.
He
you
beat
got
up a
like
big
50
guy
pounds.
earlier in the movie.
Yeah, but that big guy's not gonna punch back at Mickey Cohen.
The big
man.
guy
Are you
beat up
shitting me?
the big guy beat up Cheddar Bob already.
Oh, with Jack. That was a great death scene when Jack was like, "All right, come on, boys."
What kind
Like,
of
that
car
was a-
would Mickey Cohen be?
I feel like he'd be like a Cadillac or so. I feel like something like a cool
Dude, we just
old mobster.
we just remote viewed that Cadillac.
Remote- I'm sure he had a nice Cadillac. So he's a rich guy.
What about Ryan Gosling
Gosling?
in this movie? What kind of car?
I feel like he had like a Pontiac or something.
I'll just say VW Bug.
I was gonna say a Jetta, like a GTI.
In this movie, if he spoke like this and rode a VW Bug, I think would be great. Mickey Cohen gets a Scarface scene in this movie where he says, "Here comes Santa Claus," and comes out with a gun.
Really dumb.
You guys I feel like in the writers' room they were like, "This is our Scarface moment. This is gonna be so iconic. People are gonna be so hyped when he says, 'Here comes Santa Claus,' and comes out." They beat Mickey Cohen, right? They punch him, and at the very end, the O'Mara's like, "And no one ever heard of Gangster Squad." But Nick Nolte took all the credit, but we know in our hearts we fucking protected and served. And then what is it? Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone. They have like the La La Land moment. They're looking over the sunset by the light post, and I think my theory is that they have two kids who are separated at birth, who are Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone in La La Land. It adds kind of like a Game of Thrones kind of twist, doesn't it? Doesn't it kind of like add like a little like spiciness to the story of La La Land, that they're like, they don't know, but that was their parents? Like, doesn't it add some kind of like, it's like forbidden fruit? And it's like, they almost got together, but they didn't, It's like Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia.
Did you watch the middle hour of La La Land?
It's been a while since I've seen it.
You only
But
watched the
didn't-
end
they
and the
didn't-
beginning?
They almost dated. They didn't do it. Unrequited love, baby. Crazy movies. Sorry. Point Break. The thing scene. If you're an LA cop, you gotta throw your badge into the ocean. When you go to Malibu, it's just the whole beach is lined with badges of guys who threw their badges in the ocean, looking off in the distance. I love that shit. So, meters for this movie. We have the Goslometer. The Gos.
Wow. That's
Jace. Yeah, what do you think? How Ryan Gosling was this?
I
This
think
is tough.
it was for his. I think we captured quite a bit of essence. I liked his one-liners. I don't think they were great, but I do think with his voice
Mickey
they were
Mouse.
funny.
Yeah.
Haven't been sophisticated in weeks, and it hasn't
That
been
was
for
good.
lack of trying. And I wrote this one. Well, you gotta die of something.
Ryan Gosling, boy detective.
You know, I felt like his for me, he has a line that could have been used in The Notebook, and I forget the context, but I think he said, "You might even be a fucking angel" to Emma Stone's character at one point, and that feels like something that could have been said in The Notebook.
Yeah, bingo.
Volume pretty low, less than 50. He was probably like a 40 or 30% character. He yelled. I don't know. I'm left in a state of lethargy by the actual film. It's making rating it pretty hard, but I'm not gonna bust his balls too. I think like a 5 is pretty fair from what I think is a weird, quirky performance that had a modicum of volume and an ensemble cast.
Fair enough, Jay. I think that's fair. Ryan.
Me, Ryan. I think I'm on the same lines. I'm gonna go with a 6 though. I think because I'm reframing my meters to be more in the lines of, if you knew a Ryan Gosling fan, would you recommend this movie to them?
Okay.
As like an example of his work. And I think so. I do agree about the quantity being rather low, and that's taking it down a couple points. Like if he was maybe the Josh Brolin kind of quantity, it would be better. I think the movie would be better, but also like I think the Ryan Gosling meter, if he precogged this podcast when he was making this decision and saying, I'm not doing this movie unless I get way more screen time, because 1 out of 3 co-hosts might be a little upset. I think I thought he was good. Doesn't he have kind of a reputation for being pretty hot in this movie? I
think he was.
He dresses
good in a
he
suit.
fixes up nice.
I think he looks good.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a 7 actually. I'm gonna bump it up to a 7 because I do think really the only thing that we're lacking is quantity and his fucking weird little Bugs Bunny voice. But some people like it, you know. There's reviews on Letterboxd. People are into it, and maybe it's just showing that you can take risks, and it's okay for Ryan Gosling to take risks.
This is an interesting thing to review because like this is almost. I was telling Amber about this. This is like almost too much. Like he is being cast to be Ryan Gosling in this movie, if that makes sense. Like this is coming off of Drive. This is kind of like around the same time as like Ides of March and like those other movies where he's kind of supposed to be like aloof. He's like kind of like the mysterious hot guy who's kind of a bad boy, and then he gets unhinged if something happens. Oh, don't fuck him up, like. And he does a weird kind of affect, like he has a really weird social affect in this movie. I think he was cast just for that in this movie. You get a good scream scene. There's one really good fuck scene where he says the word fuck. He's not. There's no fuck scene.
Well, there's post scene.
Post fuck scene. But he says fuck really loud and he screams. He gets unhinged. There's no shirtless scene, but there is a tight white t-shirt scene. He looks great. I'm going to give him a half point for that. Yeah, he has the weird accent. He talks like this. I think Ryan Gosling doing weird voices, that's a point. Let's see here. What it takes place in L.A. Boom. Easy point there. Fuck, dude. The volume, you're right. It's low. I think if a Ryan Gosling fan wanted to see this movie, they'd be like, why are you showing me Gangster Squad? He's barely in this fucking thing. But fuck, dude. Oh, shit. 7. Fuck it. 7. He did good. He did good in this.
He did what our season is set out to do, and when we got to the point where he came on screen, I was happier.
I was too.
I
think he elevated.
It instantly shot it up. I think you guys made some good points. I think I'm gonna come up from the 5 and go to a 6.
Oh,
I'm not gonna shoot up too much, but I think that for a movie to be 5 on the Ryan Gosling meter, he would have to have been missing something that's like the essence from these other movies, and I think it was in there. It was just low volume.
I think it was in there. And I think to its detriment, it was in there. Because I think after this movie, I think Ryan Gosling was like, I need to put the brakes on the Gosling stuff. I think he starts kind of branching out a little bit post this movie and starts doing something else. Movie meter, what did we think of Gangster Squad?
Personally, I found like it rather effective at making me hate Mickey Cohen and seeing some of these things that like the gangsters are purportedly doing. And the payoff for that is him getting the shit beat out of him at the end of the movie. But this isn't my type of movie. It borders on war movie. It really is essentially a war movie. It's a war movie in LA between the two factions. Oh. And just
Ryan, factions mentioned. Come on.
Really like 2 hours. A nearly almost 2 hour runtime. I don't know if it was the time of day that I watched it. It felt like some of the screen was blurry. It was hard for me to like focus, like actually looking at the picture. Not to say, I think the set design was pretty good. I think they took some care, like everything felt pretty good. I'm going to have to be a pretty harsh critic. Wouldn't tell anybody to watch this. And I think for me, it's like a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of wish I picked something else.
You texted us, I really hope Only God Forgives is worse. Don't worry, Jace. It was.
Okay. So,
Ryan, I'm curious to hear what you said, because you said you might have liked it more than us.
Yeah, I think ultimately it was a product of my low expectations. I turned this on thinking, this is a waste of a night. I'm not going to be able to comprehend the plot or follow it at all, or remember anything about this movie when it's over, or know anybody's names. That part was true. But I was kind of surprised that I was able to go along with it. And I think, you know me, it would have been better as a 90-minute. But the things it's going to get docked for is like the running time, the writing was really kind of all over the place. There'd be funny scenes, there would be unfunny scenes. I think Jace made a great point about how it was shot. And there's one scene, or one shot, of Emma Stone that must have been absolutely unreplaceable or unreproducible because it's blurry. It's literally out of focus. And it's a half body shot. And like, I don't know why they just don't, I don't know. It's just really strange. The lighting setup they tried obviously to make everything amber colored. I'm not sure how much of that was color grading in post and how much of it was using actually amber light.
It's like Instagram filters. Like
yeah, it was, but only the light. So the things that were in like, kind of darkness or natural lighting weren't really that bad. So I think they tried to make it period piece. And I think it was shot on film. So I think it's hard to do that. You have to make a pretty bright impression on the film. So the things that are light are actually like brighter than they really look on the screen. So probably a lot of the budget went into making this a set. And that's where I'm going to give it credit. When I was watching this, a couple times I was thought, well, man, this is a movie. Sometimes people go out into the real world and just start shooting film or not even film, take a camera, just go out into the real world and have some people read some lines in front of a camera. And you're like, oh, they're making a movie. But they're using the real world. This movie was all like sets, and they built like a fake street, and everything was period pieced, which doesn't look like that anymore. So everything was like crafted. When there was something on screen, it was there on purpose. And I'm actually going to give it points for that because takes a lot more effort. And I didn't notice anything jarring. I think just ultimately the execution, it's a harder thing to do, and it's not their fault entirely if they missed the mark. I think ultimately my thesis is that this movie isn't quite as good as Four Brothers.
Oh my God, it's fucking Four Brothers thing again.
But it's not nearly as good as The House Bunny. So that's kind of the rating system.
I haven't seen...
If you're not as good as Four Brothers, you're not really a good movie.
Okay.
But if you're as good as House Bunny, you're a pretty good movie.
I see.
So it's not really clearly different than Four Brothers enough for me. It's not quite there.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 6. I wouldn't really recommend this to people unless they're a Ryan Gosling fan. If they're in the mood, I wouldn't say avoid it. I'm giving it some points. It does not reach the stratosphere of House Bunny levels.
Whew. You've rated a lot of movies below this, Ryan. Oh my
that's
goodness.
interesting.
Oh my goodness. Ryan loves Gangster Squad, folks.
But not as much as I love House Bunny.
I guess I have to see House Bunny for our Anna Faris season. Okay, so Jace, are you looking at some data right now?
I'm looking at some data right now, and
Okay.
I thought that Ryan loved Gone in 60 Seconds or really enjoyed it. But to have these numerically at the same these two movies, Gone in 60 Seconds and Gangster Squad.
I look back at Gone in 60 Seconds more fondly, I think.
But yeah,
compared
but
to
it
this
was
movie.
also it had its issues.
Yeah.
They're very different.
I think
pieces.
I would defend that.
This movie, yeah, like I already kind of hinted at it. Like I did not enjoy my watch of this movie. Normally, I love period pieces, guys. I like seeing the fashion. I like hearing the music. I love all that shit. My favorite parts of The Notebook are because of it's a period piece. But man, this movie was written by two different teams. One who wanted to make a grounded, gritty, fucked up gangster movie, and another one who wanted to make a wacky, oh, here's an action movie. This is crazy. Look how funny and wacky this is. And those two together makes a boring slog of a bad movie. Like it wasn't wacky enough to hold my attention the whole time, and it was just like, God, I didn't know what to feel. I didn't know like how invested I should be in this movie. All of the action too was so ungrounded that I was just like, someone's gonna die when it's written. It doesn't feel like I'm watching something that's like has stakes. The whole historical inaccuracies, like I didn't know that going in, but just watching it, you can tell it has them just by the way the physics and the logic works. It doesn't make sense. I wasn't invested. Romance was hot between Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. I think they had great chemistry. There's a reason why they got cast in La La Land after this, and a reason why their kids got together in La La Land. I think it really works in this movie. It was great, but ultimately, like, they had so many good actors. I think there's moments of brilliance in some of these performances. I think there's parts of Mickey Cohen I think was kind of working in this movie. I didn't fucking enjoy it though, man. Jesus Christ, this was a slog to watch. This is gonna be a 2 for me. It gets a couple points because they tried. All right, I think this was a good faith effort to try to make a good, fun movie that failed horribly, in my opinion. I hope to never watch this again. So there you have it, folks. That's what I think. That's what we all think about Gangster Squad. We did it, guys. We got through a bad Ryan Gosling movie. We did it. There's not a lot of those.
Is this my Geostorm of the Ryan Gosling season?
I'm not as no. I was pissed off about that. This isn't close to Geostorm.
What
levels.
did I rate Geostorm? Like a 7
You
or
gave
an
it like
8?
a 10. You were like, this is my favorite movie. Geostorm perplexed me that you liked it. So, like, I was like, Ryan's gonna hate this, and I think thinking that in my head, then seeing you be like, I loved this movie, which we got as our clip, was just that was upsetting. I understand it. But I mean, that's okay. We all get one that we like of our season. I think Notebook was probably for me, but let's see if we get another one. Ryan, you got the next.
I wasn't sure if it was for me, so
it is you.
So let's do The Nice Guys. I like this movie. Yeah,
all right, The Nice
The Nice Guys, starring Ryan
with
Gosling.
Potential guest.
Potential good movie.
Show.
Potential
Been a
differing
while.
opinions as well. I will say this was kind of a some people might not like it.
Kind of the same vein. You got a period piece in L.A. I don't think he's like a bounty. We'll figure it out. We'll find out. We'll find out what Nice Guys is about, folks. Join us next week. Watch The Nice Guys. All right. This one's certified fresh or Rotten Tomatoes. All right. This isn't like a dark path you have to follow us on, folks. With Gangster Squad. Those of you who rented Gangster Squad on Vudu and Amazon Prime, I'm so sorry. Okay, we made you do that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we can be there for you and help you process this thing. The three of us are kind of like psychic therapists, I think, for movies. And for those of you in the far future who are listening back to this, I hope we helped you.
Next episode, 4 people.
Yeah.
2 guys on cover.
What does it smell like?
Yellow.
Yeah.
It smells like yellow.
Smells like yellow. Jesus. Okay. Cool. Well, hope you guys will join us. Follow us. Do all the shit that you're supposed to do, guys.
It's been a while. We have an email.
Been a while.
Right?
Yeah, we do.
What is that
we
email?
We do have an email.
At GB...
It's GBGBs podcast.
We can precog it.
Oh.
They can see it.
Okay, yeah.
So
Ryan, what do you think it is?
Imagine an email.
Yeah.
It's oof. I'm getting some things.
I'm feeling hungry.
More than one thing, right? More than one thing. It's got a dot in it. I've seen like Dalmatians.
My ass hurts from something like sitting for a long time.
Yeah,
I think from this vision.
My eyes hurt from reading this long email title at gmail.com.
What is it?
GBGBs podcast at gmail.com. It's GBGBs with an S.
That's what I have. That's what I wrote down the whole time.
Holy
I had that
shit,
written down.
Ryan. This is why he teaches the classes. Sign up on our Gmail for our precog classes. You can fill out whatever you want, do a little write-up, we'll read it on air to see, and the fans can decide if you'll join our classes. The email is a big smoking hole right now, okay? There's nothing, we have no fucking fan mail right now. And maybe it's because we don't say the email enough. So gbgbspodcast at gmail.com. Type whatever you want. We will say it on air. Guaranteed. Or your money back. No, it won't. You guys want to end with a Ryan Gosling-ism? Ryan Gosling quote. Let's generate one for this movie.
Yeah.
Together. Using our precog abilities, let's generate something that we think he would say. So Jace, this was your movie. You want to lay the seeds.
Firstly. That wasn't the voice. I think... Firstly...
Seeds.
Did you say seeds?
Seeds.
Don't Water.
Themselves.
Thanks for joining us.